7. Barrett outside the switch. Doncic goes on.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well. If you end up enjoying this video, be free to give me a thumbs up and click that subscribe button for more content. Thank you so much for tuning in. So here we go. I'm going to be talking about Kristaps Porzingis. Like nearly, I believe like a year ago, I made a video on Kristaps Porzingis and how he's holding himself back. And before we officially get into it though, I'm going to be as unbiased as possible. You guys are probably like, anyone that's new is like, what? You're going to be unbiased? Like, you have Knicks gear in the back. I understand he used to be a New York Knick, but am I rooting for him to fail? Am I rooting for him to get hurt? No. Anyone that wants someone to get hurt is absolutely disgusting. Of course, it hurts if you see a player that used to play for your team ball out, but you have to accept it. That's the move your organization made, if it's smart or stupid. So yes, Kristaps Porzingis, there's rumors or there's these reports out that Kristaps Porzingis, he doesn't even feel like the co-star. He looks like just a random player, like looking in. My mindset with that, though, if I'm being completely real and just like unbiased, my true thoughts, play better. Play a better brand of basketball if you want to feel like the second star. You're not playing like the second star. Step up your game and play a more mature style of basketball. So anyway, I'm going to be talking about things I absolutely love about Kristaps Porzingis, things that I did not like, things he has to improve on. So Kristaps Porzingis, very special basketball player. Very unique, you could actually say, at this stage of his career. Doesn't look special like he did in the past. So we're talking about someone who's 7'3" with a wiry type of frame. He ended up like adding some like some weight or some strength to his build. I thought he added weight to like the wrong places. Don't get me wrong, it's good to add weight to the upper body, but when you came off of a torn meniscus and you came off of a torn ACL, maybe he is working on some strength down low, which might be his genes or his physique, because he is 7'3", which is absolutely insane. So the things I loved about Kristaps Porzingis, obviously 7'3", he could put the ball on the floor, he could shoot it from beyond the arc, he could shoot it from mid-range territory, he's athletic, he could shoot over people. Those things are absolutely amazing, and that makes Kristaps Porzingis so unique. Someone should not be moving that well at 7'3". So we got to see Kristaps Porzingis really be himself as the number one option his third year in the NBA or third season, because no more Carmelo Anthony, no Derrick Rose. Remember the Derrick Rose, freaking Kristaps Porzingis, Carmelo Anthony so-called super team, or whatever Derrick Rose said. That team did not play well at all or meet expectations. The defense was atrocious, but that's a whole other video if you guys want me to make a video on that in the future. So Kristaps Porzingis, like a few games in, or like 10 games in, he looked like the MVP. The New York Knicks were winning games, but again, it's only 10 games in, not the biggest of sample size in the world. We were coming back. I'll never forget the big time Indiana Pacers game. We came back, I believe, 16 or 17 points, and Porzingis ended up dropping 40. But this is the problem I had with Kristaps Porzingis. Besides the durability is like a big issue that comes into play here, so actually you could bring it up. But true Knicks fans that watched Porzingis play, he had stretches of games. He was never good throughout the entire season. Like, he didn't look like a good player throughout the entire season. Julius Randle had like a few bad games this season, but he was way more consistent throughout a season than Kristaps Porzingis ever was. But you also have to keep in mind, Julius Randle almost played the entire season. That was the thing with Kristaps Porzingis' injuries. But anyway, he would have these great stretches of games. He looks like one of the best basketball players in the world. And then as soon as he gets hit with an injury or a certain part throughout the season, he even said in an interview, I feel tired, like I feel exhausted, like I don't feel like I did at the beginning of the season. His efficiency would fall off, his style of play that he had at the beginning of the season, being patient, absolutely fell off. So that's a huge thing I had with Kristaps Porzingis. When he gained weight, like it didn't improve his game at all. Like when you gain weight, it's obviously for a reason. There was no reason, like, when he gained weight. Like, he didn't really adjust or bring it to the game or translate it to the game at all. Yes, he posted up, but clearly you're not putting it in the right place, or you're not doing something right if you can't post up a guard. That's always been the problem with Kristaps Porzingis. He just can't post up people and be patient on the low block. That's something he just really never brought to his game, and he never added, like, consistent moves in his arsenal when it comes to the post. That's something you really need. Like, he used to have like kind of this shimmy shake in the fadeaway jumper, but he never really added like this hook shot to his arsenal. He never really added enough post moves He's very, very bland when it comes to the post. So that really concerned me. Like, it pretty much looked the same from the post from his rookie year to his third year in the league, and he gained enough weight, I thought, in my opinion, or maybe he had to gain more weight. But simply looked soft in the post. That was definitely a concern. It's awesome that you can shoot over people. You're really tall. You can back people down. You can get into this like own rhythm of yours. But would you rather settle for like a tough jumper or a more quality shot by being patient in the post? So yes, that is something Kristaps Porzingis definitely has struggled with, even with the Dallas Mavericks. So yeah, good shooter of the basketball. But Kristaps Porzingis, he has shown throughout like good percentages from the outside. So, is Kristaps Porzingis overrated by the fact that he's 7'3"? If he was only 6'9" and he could pop out and shoot the three ball, would people really care about Kristaps Porzingis as much? Like when he was like with the New York Knicks days, I think he was just such a fascinating player because he was 7'3" and could shoot the three ball, not taking anything away from him. But if he was shorter, would people really pay attention to him as much? I think the height definitely added to the hype of Kristaps Porzingis. And the thing here I really did not like about Porzingis is when he was 7'3", he ended up getting better rebounding the ball. I believe he had a career high 9 rebounds with the Dallas Mavericks, but he's 7'3" and averaged like 6.7 rebounds with the New York Knicks. This guy never consistently boxed out at all. He would always just rely on his height, and like definitely in like some crucial times at the end of games, he would just not box out at all. Yeah, something I really liked is that he was able to take it to the basket like earlier in his career before the injuries actually happened. He was a good shot blocker, but does that mean he's a good defensive player? That does not necessarily mean you're a good defensive player. He wasn't really that disciplined when it came to guarding the rim. Like he would get into foul trouble a lot, which definitely was a big concern, but he was still young in his career, but that's still a problem now. He actually has gotten into foul trouble a lot when it's come to the Dallas Mavericks. So now let's get into the sad reality. Torn ACL, torn meniscus, back injuries, ankle injuries, just injuries like freaking crazy. So this is something here we have to talk about when it comes to Kristaps Porzingis. It is not his fault that he's had these injuries throughout his career. It is not his fault whatsoever. He can't control being 7'3". He can't shrink himself. Like, I bet certain people that are really tall wish they were shorter because it's actually better for your health when you are shorter. So, you take a look at Kristaps Porzingis now, he does not move the same at all. Like, it seems like he can't have a certain amount of low gravity as he did with the Knicks because that's before he tore his ACL, because he didn't end up playing a game for the Knicks after he tore his ACL because the whole trade that went down. But when you have a big time injury like that, you can't have the same amount of low gravity, especially at that height. So if he dribbles for too long, it could just end up being like a very sloppy possession or a turnover of the basketball. We know he's never been the best of passer of the ball. So we're talking about someone who can't attack the basket like he used to. And Kristaps Porzingis' shot blocking ability was amazing when it really was like disciplined and he wasn't getting into foul trouble. But now he can't like close out on time or get to the basket to help in time because he doesn't move the same. Again, when you're 7'3" and you go through some knee injuries or you go through some crucial injuries, like it's gonna be really hard to get through that, and we'll never know if Kristaps Porzingis is ever gonna return back to form, which has pretty much kind of been like a big part of his career. He has to settle for way more jumpers. He just does not move the same. So yes, his game that he had with the New York Knicks, he has pretty much developed, or he has ended up being this guy who just relies on his jump shot a lot because there's certain things that he just can't do anymore, and he's been inconsistent with the Dallas Mavericks. We saw flashes of inconsistency with the New York Knicks, but now getting injured more than he did with the New York Knicks, missing a ton of games has definitely hurt him. But you never know what kind of Kristaps Porzingis you're going to get. You're going to have a fantastic Kristaps, and then you could have just, it looks like he's unmotivated and does not care out there on the court. And I really do wonder if he's this selfish player and he wants to be that number one option. He wants to be the guy taking all the shots. Because a true leader that wants to win shouldn't say, oh, I don't even feel like the co-star out there. Like, you should be aware that you're not playing good, but if you want to be a number two option, you gotta be consistent, especially what people thought about him. So yes, Kristaps Porzingis, 7'3", could shoot the three ball. He can't put the ball on the floor, sadly, like he was able to do in the past. Like, he's athletic, but he can't really dribble, drive to the basket. It looks like he really has to be set up more, but we all thought this Luka Doncic and Porzingis duo was going to be fantastic. Now, Kristaps Porzingis has a guard that could set him up, one of the best passers in the league, but he's not been able to stay healthy. And sadly, injuries really ruined his style of play of being a lot more limited and just sometimes forcing the most ridiculous jumpers when he really does not have to force them at all. And he should learn to move the basketball and trust his teammates a little bit more. But yes, he's not as athletic. He can't put the ball on the floor as much. Doesn't have the same amount of like low gravity down to the ground of really handling the ball, something I really loved in a Knicks uniform. And he just simply still can't post up low, like shorter guards, or just literally no one in general of really getting closer to the hoop. It seems like he just gives up in the post and forces a very difficult jumper. But let me know down below your thoughts, and peace out, y'all.